Welcome back to Crypto Chester. My name is Chester, and today I'm here to give you a quick, brief update on Bitcoin and what it has been doing recently, right? Last time we spoke, right? This is when last time we spoke, and I said there's a potential for a long position to think about, and that was when we were sat at around 34,220 on Sunday morning, right? From there, we have progressed to the upside quite significantly, right? Quite significantly. In terms of percent to that upside, we have jumped up around near enough 9% for Bitcoin, which is really, really interesting indeed. My reasoning for a potential long position here on Sunday morning that was because, as you can see here, we do have this horizontal level of support at 34,175 there. But as you can see, every time we come down and test that support, we usually find a lot of upwards buying momentum, right? We usually find a lot of upwards buying momentum along that support line, right? Along that support line. So that was an indication that that's one of the factors that we were going to be seeing some upwards momentum from there if we were to hold that level of support, right? We did hold that level of support, and we did see that buying power to the upside, which was really interesting indeed, because I did think we would see another level of resistance at the lower side, at the top side of this falling wedge that we've got coming through here. But no, as you can see, we have literally just smashed through the top side. We smashed through all these major moving averages coming through here, which have called up here, and we've just had that the break in price to the upside here. And as I said, we have jumped up around 8% there, which is just crazy for Bitcoin. Very, very good indeed. In terms of higher low, which we set off this point, very, very healthy indeed in terms of progression to the upside, what it's looking like, right? What it's looking like, because obviously we do have this low point here, right? We do have this low point here, and we were setting high lows all the way up, but now we've had that retracement, we've had that swap over in the trend, right? Setting these lower highs continuously, but at this point in time, we've reversed the trend. We found our low point. We reversed the trend, and we found another low point here. But it does come in line with a higher low, right? So it does come in line with a higher low, which is great in terms of the long-term trend for Bitcoin, which is great for an indication of what could happen, right? At this point in time, on the short term, in terms of a measure move for this falling wedge that we got coming through here, it would be looking, in terms of a long trade, right? We would be looking at something along the lines of this. For me personally, I was out. I didn't get in this, but as you can see here, we were waiting for a potential candle to come down and retest the top side of this trend line coming down here, right? If we were to see that retest and it was looking healthy towards the upside, because obviously we do have all these major moving averages below us as well, acting as a nice level of support, we could have been looking at a nice long position up to potentially this 200 moving average. And in terms of percent for that potential trade that could have played out, right? If you guys got into it, absolutely well done on you guys. But for me personally, I did not. You would have made around a 4% trade for that. Very, very good indeed. Right now, live price action for Bitcoin. We have currently just lost the 10 moving average there on the short term there for Bitcoin. But as you can see, we're hopefully finding a nice level of support on this 36,575 mark. If we can find a nice level of support on that, I can see us basically coming up again and having a little try at that 200. Ideally, we want to find a nice level of support here, come up, smash through this 200, get some candle closes above that 200, and then see that progression to the upside. That's the ideal scenario. Hopefully we can get that to play out, right? Just fingers crossed, right? As we always say with Bitcoin. But with that being said, at this point in time, we obviously did see this insane pump to the upside. This near enough parabolic run in terms of the hourly candles coming through here. So this consolidation period is expected, right? It's healthy. We need it. Otherwise, we're going to see bigger crashes. And for Bitcoin, we know that's not good at this point in time, right? In terms of what's happening on the RSI, on the short term here, obviously we do have this downward slope and resistance line coming through. And this was another reason why that long position would have been really, really good here from this point here in terms of a bounce point on Sunday morning, right? Because we broke this level of resistance at this point, and we're finding support on it, and we had that upwards momentum to the upside, and that's another indication that we were going to basically pump and find that momentum to the upside off that horizontal level of support at 34,178. In terms of what's happening on the MACD right now, we are looking at a bearish crossover to come in soon, and that obviously means a reversal in the trend, right? And reversal in this uptrend which we're coming through here, right? Which I hate to say is an indication that we are not going to find a level of support at this 36,575 mark. If we lose that support, it's not the end of the world, people. It's not the end of the world, because as you can see, we do have this this major trend line to the downside acting as support on the MACD here. So if we are going to see this bearish crossover play out pretty soon, right? If we are going to see that play out and we lose the support on this horizontal resistance line here, we are going to see a downtrend form, right? We're going to see a downtrend form, but with that being said, we do have this support line, right? So the downtrend initially, fingers crossed, right? It's not going to be very big. initially it's not going to be very, very big, and we are going to see that bullish crossover pretty imminently, continuing that uptrend. Likelihood of the scenario happening, we lose this horizontal level of support currently. We come down to the 55. We have a bounce point of the 55 correlating perfectly with the MACD here in terms of this level of support here. So that's definitely something to consider with live price action there for Bitcoin on the old short term, right? Very, very interesting stuff. Why my RSI's gone up there? Very interesting indeed. But yeah, let's jump to the midterm for Bitcoin now. As I said, very brief today, guys. Very, very brief indeed. And I will be live streaming tomorrow morning for you guys. We're obviously going to go over Bitcoin all again, and we're going to be doing some altcoins and that beautiful stuff as well. And guys, if you're liking the video, smash that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously. Obviously, I'm a new YouTuber here, so I do need an extra hand getting on those YouTube algos. But yeah, in terms of Bitcoin for the midterm right now on the 4-hourly chart, we have got this downwards channel, right? We've got this downwards channel, which I was speaking about last week on my live streams here. Absolute low point we were talking about here is at around that 30k mark, but at this point in time, as discussed earlier, we are setting these higher lows to the upside. In terms of crucial point right now for the midterm for Bitcoin, it would be holding this point here. Holding this point here because, as you can see, we do have these lower highs coming through here. We do have a lot of lower highs coming through here, and in order to get the progressionary momentum towards the upside, we need to hold strong on this point. At this point, you can see on the last 4-hourly candle, we never have tested the 55 moving average coming up here. And we've just seen that resistance to the downside, right? We've seen that resistance to the downside, which initially is making us lose these crucial levels of support, right? Which we need to be finding. It's pretty crucial. If we don't find levels of support around this point here, and don't eradicate these lower highs and make them irrelevant, then we're not going to see a continuation in the trend, right? We're going to see the resistance come down, potentially losing this high low that we got coming through here, right? So in terms of a target right now, I would be looking at coming back up, getting a nice level of support over the 55 and clearing this horrible zone that we got coming through here, right? We need a nice level of support on that. Otherwise, it is looking like we're going to see progressionary price action to the downside happening pretty imminently. But rest assured, we do have this 21 moving average coming through here, and we did find a nice level of support here on that, right? But as you can see, if we do lose that, there's resistance there. There is resistance to be had there, so it's definitely something to consider. But at this point in time, I would be looking at a potential bounce from this point. And as you can see, we do have the 10 moving average coming up as well. So that's an idea with this horizontal level of support at that $36,070 zone. They're all kind of correlated together. So what likelihood to happen here? We are likely to potentially come down here. As you can see in price action, we are dropping. We're likely to come down here and potentially have some sort of bounce to the upside from there, retesting this crucial zone in terms of these lower highs, which we need to eradicate, right? In terms of the RSI right now, it plays out perfectly. This downward sloping resistance line on this RSI, like as you can see, we heavily respect it. And for my returning viewers, we're going to be referencing this line for quite a while, and I do reference it in a lot of my Bitcoin updates for you guys, right? As you can see here, we are actually finding a heavy level of resistance off this line here. So that's an indication that, as I said a second ago, we are going to see some reversal in the price, which is what we're seeing now off that 55. Likely to find some sort of bounce. If we are, that's going to be ideal, because then we can potentially see if we can find some more momentum and break this level of resistance on the RSI here in terms of buying power. I mean, it's not impossible, because obviously we've seen the buying power in the last few days. It has been very, very crazy this weekend. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow or later on this week, we can see some buying power and momentum to the upside. But at this point in time, we are going to find that resistance on the RSI. So it's definitely something to consider when trading Bitcoin on the midterm there, right? As you can see here, in terms of what's happened in terms of the downtrend on the MACD here, you can see we actually had this downtrend, right? This is around the last time we were speaking, right? This downtrend coming through here, and we did see that bullish crossover come through in return for that uptrend. We're currently still in that uptrend, pretty far away from a bearish crossover coming through, right? Pretty far away from a bearish crossover coming through. But now we have a nice indication of a potential, when we go into that downtrend again, a potential indication for a bounce point there, right? Because when we come to that downtrend there, we are potentially going to find a level of support when we get this low in terms of momentum to the downside, right? So that's a great indication that we got this cycle basically coming through on the MACD on the midterm. So that is definitely another thing to think about when trading Bitcoin on the midterm, right? On the Bitcoin on the midterm, right? In terms of short-term targets, as I said, these lower high points, we do need to get over them and get some candle closes above there. Likelihood we do see a heavy point of resistance off this downward sloping resistance line in the top side of this channel here. As I said a minute ago, worst case though, we lose it and we start challenging this higher low point at around that 34,500. So watch out for that, because at this point in time, as I just said, we are seeing that momentum to the downside from the RSI, right? Hopefully we can find the support of these moving averages, but we know it's Bitcoin. So yeah, watch this now, and we have seen this in same pump in the price. So we could see some sort of retracement around 50% in terms of that 8% pump which we saw over the last day or so, right? Now, that's the short term for Bitcoin. Short term for Bitcoin pretty much summed up there, so just be cautious of it. I'll go into a lot more detail tomorrow, but this is just a kind of a quick update for you guys, as I haven't really uploaded in the last 24 hours or something around that time, right? But yeah, so if we jump to the long term here, crucial time for the long term for Bitcoin right now. Let's stay on the daily for now. On the daily right now, we were discussing this was yesterday morning's video. We were discussing this symmetrical triangle coming through here. Potential for a position to the upside. If we're looking at it, it's going to look something probably along the lines of this in terms of a measure move, right? And that'll basically, obviously, depending on where we're going to break along this top side of this symmetrical triangle here, it could be a potential trade to the upside. We're looking at around 10% there. Very, very nice indeed. Something to consider. As you can see, we do have these major moving averages coming down as well, so they could correlate perfectly with the take profit point when we do break to the upside. Fingers crossed we break to the upside. We need to break to the upside. But yeah, if we don't break to the upside, we need to think about a potential break to the downside in terms of a measure move for this symmetrical triangle that we've got coming through. It would be looking something along the lines of this, but make sure, obviously on speculation, that depending on where we're going to break along the bottom side of the symmetrical triangle here, that would be a potential short position. Obviously, weighing up a lot of other indicators and factors into that as well. We could be looking at a 15% trade there, and obviously we would be looking at a take profit in terms of a bounce point at this volume weighted ATR band. And for me personally, next time we come anywhere near this volume weighted ATR band on the daily, I will be looking at a nice long trade to trade that upwards momentum, the bounce point from there, because it is very, very reliable indeed. As you can see, that crypto crash that we saw 3 weeks ago, I think that was now. Yeah, crypto crash we saw a while back. We did see that buying momentum quickly from that point, right? So if we can get some nice limit orders in there, if we see it potentially crashing again, we could get a very, very nice, juicy piece of the pie there, a juicy piece of the pie. But yeah, there's definitely potential trades there if we are going to break the symmetrical triangle to the upside. We do have this 10 moving average coming down as well, which we're currently testing the resistance from, right? We're currently testing the resistance from, and in terms of daily candles, we have actually seen that reversing the trend and these high lows being set, right? These high lows being set, which is crucial. And as I said on the midterm here, we do need to eradicate these lower highs coming through, right? We do need to eradicate these lower highs and get them gone. As the moment that they're gone, it's going to be ideal, because that basically means we can have that progression to the upside. But as you can see, referencing the long term here, we are currently not really setting great points, right? It's not too bad in terms of we got two candles, but in terms of a complete trend here, we need to see more. We need to see more progression to the upside to get that insane confirmation that we are going to move forwards in terms of higher prices for Bitcoin, right? In terms of the bull market barrier, which we've got coming through here, target point is that 43,600 zone. We do need to get to that. If we get to that and don't find resistance off these lower high points coming through here, then we're likely to find resistance off that point. So definitely take that into account when trading on the daily there for Bitcoin. Let me jump to the weekly, because it's very, very crucial on the weekly, because we were looking for potential candle closes here, which were very, very crucial indeed. And yeah, this candle which we were discussing before the weekly close a day ago, right? Before the weekly close yesterday, we were discussing if we lose this 55 moving average, it's likely that we are going to find the resistance from there on the weekly and come down to around 28. So that's definitely something to consider. But as you can see, very good news indeed. We closed above it. Very, very nice. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, but I can see us potentially coming down and giving it a tap. Coming down, giving it a tap before seeing that progressionary move to the upside, potentially at the start of the week, potentially at the end of the week. We'll just have to see what price action does with Bitcoin, but definitely don't rule it out, because it is likely that we are going to see a test of that 55, because we usually do come down and test the 55 once we've dumped down a significant amount, like so, right? In terms of that's the weekly summed up right there, and it's great news, right? It's great news. We got above the 55. And we're looking for that upwards momentum from there. But as I said, watch out in case we do come down and test it around that 32K zone, right? Into the monthly now, because obviously the monthly close is going to close in 4 hours and 17 minutes there. So crucial point to watch. If we see Bitcoin fall off an absolute cliff, which in my opinion is highly unlikely in the next 4 hours and 17 minutes there, in the event that we do fall off an absolute cliff and we do close below this 10 moving average coming up here at that 30K, that 31K zone, then I can see us going lower and testing this this 21 moving averages we've got coming up here at that, and that's around $25,000 for Bitcoin, right? So definitely something to consider. But at this point in time, it's good news, right? We found that nice level of support when we came down and tested this 10 moving average coming up here. So yeah, it's looking good in terms of the monthly close coming through here at that 4 hours in 4 hours and 17 minutes. So watch that. And yeah, that's going to be the video, guys. I'll be jumping back live streaming tomorrow. So yeah, if you like the video, smash that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously in terms of the YouTube algos and all of that good stuff. And also, guys, I stream every single day, Monday to Friday. Obviously, I didn't today because it's bank holiday. But yeah, every single day, Monday to Friday, 1 to 2 hours on YouTube Live. So yeah, if you never want to miss one of my streams, and you never want to miss one of my Bitcoin updates, one of my crypto videos, one of my alt-gem videos, one of my altcoin videos, and then smash that subscribe button, smash that notification bell. You're never going to miss one of my uploads, guys. You're never going to miss one of my uploads, guys. But yeah, thank you ever so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow morning, early doors for that early Tuesday morning live stream. Thanks again, guys. Peace out from Crypto Chester.